لله الحمد لله الحمد لله عدد خلقه ومداد نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته ومنتهى علمه وجميع ما شاء وخلق وزرع وبرع عالم الغيب شهادة الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. أما بعد، وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إني ابني ذبيحين. أنا ابني ذبيحين. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us to reach another Eid al-Adha, another great or big Eid. The more important, the larger Eid. Alhamdulillah, the annual celebration. Alhamdulillah, in a few minutes, and I intend to be very short, in a few minutes that we have, I want to talk about what I'm pretty sure almost every other team spoke about yesterday and today during their Khutbah. I want to talk about sacrifice. Sacrifice. This is literally the festival or the celebration of sacrifice. See, Muslims, we celebrate sacrifice. And I want to start this reminder by mentioning something that the Prophet ﷺ said. He said, "Ana ibni Dhabihain." I am the son of the two sacrifice points. He said, I am the son of the two sacrifice points. And what he was referring to was his grandfather, Abdullah, and his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Ismail. See, both of these men in his lineage were supposed to be sacrificed. Before the Prophet ﷺ was born, his grandfather had found the well of Zamzam, or rediscovered it. We know that the well of Zamzam was a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he had given to Hajar and her son Ismail alayhi salam. Prophet Ibrahim left them in Mecca before there was anybody there. He literally took them on a road trip, literally. Left them there with some food and some water, and literally started turning around and leaving them. Hajar, she said this repeatedly, are you going to leave us here with no food, no water, no people to enjoy their company? And she kept repeating this as he walked away. And then she finally said, did your Lord command you to do this? And he said, yes. And the noble black woman, Hajar, she said, if your Lord commands you to do this, then he will not forsake us. So she stayed there until the water ran out, until the food ran out. And her baby began to cry, Prophet Ismail. And then she began to run, searching for water, frantically, between Safa and Marwa. And this is where we get the sunnah, or the tradition, when you make Hajj, of running between Safa and Marwa. It comes from Hajj. It's a commemoration of it. And then, after some point in time, Angel Jibril came, and he dug with his heel or his wing in the sand, and water began to come up. And Hajar made like a little basin in the sand, and that is the beginning of the well of Zamzam that we know, that blessed water. After some time, Mecca became populated. And there were some wars. So the tribe of Quraysh left. But before they left, they covered up the well. And they covered up some gold that they had. And nobody knew where it was. The Prophet's grandfather, Abdullah, he had a dream where he was digging and he found the well. And he began to dig. Now, even back at that time, Mecca was a haram, it was a sanctuary. It was sinful to dig or tamper with that area. But here he is digging. And so people tried to prevent him. And he only had one son to ride with him. And so, long story short, he rediscovers the well of Zamzam and finds the treasure. And then he made a secret oath to himself, because he felt bad that he only had one son to hold him down when the rest of Quraysh were trying to prevent him from digging. And he made an oath to Allah. He said that if, oh Allah, if you give me 10 sons, I'll sacrifice one of them for your sake. Allah blessed him with 10 sons. And he took the youngest one, Abdullah, who, as we know, is the Prophet ﷺ's father, to sacrifice. Naturally, his mom and the family had a problem with that. So they tried to stop him. And he was intent on sacrificing his son, Abdullah. It was a sacrifice. You read the Sirah, he loved Abdullah. That was his youngest son. He loved him. But they were people that kept their word. And the deep thing about it is, no one knew that he made this oath to Allah. He could have just said, I love him so much, nobody know I made that oath. Just keep quiet. But he knew he made that oath. So it went back and forth for some time. He went to a soothsayer. And at the time, price of blood money was 10 camels. Meaning that if you kill someone and their family wanted blood money, for you having killed them, you had to pay them 10 camels. So the soothsayer told them to draw lots. And put 10 camels on one side, with your son Abdullah on the other side. So they drew lots, came to Abdullah. The soothsayer said, draw lots again. Another 10 camels on one side, Abdullah on the other side. Came to Abdullah again, so that's 20 camels. This process repeated until it came to 100 camels. This time when he drew lots, the lots fell on the 100 camels. So the soothsayer said, sacrifice the 100 camels instead of your son. And even to this day, because of that, the blood money, even now in America, if we practice in Islam and you kill someone unjustly and their family wants blood money, that price is 100 camels or its equivalent. It was codified by Islam. The Prophet ﷺ said, I am the son of the two who were supposed to be sacrificed. That was one of them. Son Abdullah was supposed to be sacrificed. Rather, his father Abdullah was supposed to be sacrificed. And if you know about the life of the Prophet ﷺ, he died before he was born. It's like his only purpose in this world was to bring in the seal of the Prophet, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He didn't even see his son. It's even reported that another woman wanted Abdullah. But then after he consummated his marriage with Amina, he came back to that other woman who wanted him, and she didn't want him anymore. And she was asked why. She said, when he was on the way to get married to Amina, saw a light between his eyes. I saw a light, and then when he approached me after that, that light was gone, so I didn't want it. That light was Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Ana ibni Tabqeen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa afdalu salatu wa atamu taslim ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa radiyallahu ta'ala an sayyid al-tabi'in wa ulama al-muhammadin wa a'immat al-arba'at al-mujtahidin wa muqallidin ila yawm al-din amma ba'd. I am the son of the two sacrifices. Ismail. The Prophet Ibrahim came back. But Ismail was old enough to walk in the company. And the deep thing about it is, and we know this story, the deep thing about it is, he came to Ismail and said, I've seen in a dream, a vision, that I am sacrificing you. What do you think about that? Ismail said, Ya Abati. He didn't say, Ya Abba, oh Dad. If you were paying attention to what we recited in the Salat, we recited from Surah Yusuf. And Yusuf referred to his father that way. Oh, my beloved father, Ya Abati. Ismail referred to his father the same way. After he just told him that he's seen in a vision that he's killing him. He said, oh, my beloved father, Tukmaru, do what you have commanded. Do what you have been commanded. Inshallah, you will find me from amongst the Sabirin, those who are patient. A lot of times we take this stuff light. Because, okay, it's in the Quran. Alhamdulillah, some of us may even think that it didn't really happen, it's just a myth. Some of us may think, well, yes, it really happened. They were prophets, they were special people, so it was probably nothing for them. When you dig a little deeper, you recognize that Ibrahim, he kept seeing this dream repeated. It wasn't just one time, oh, you gotta go. He kept seeing this dream repeated. Now I want you to reflect on yourself as a parent. You're a parent. You have children. You have a dream that something bad happened to your child. A'udhu billah. You have a dream that something bad happened to your child. 9 times out of 10, you waking up crying. Because you had a dream and something bad happened to your child. Now imagine you had that same dream and you're the one doing the bad thing to your child. As a parent. And then having this dream over and over and over again, not one time. Any type of dream you forget. You know, a lot of times you have a dream, you wake up, oh, you never shake on our dream. And maybe by the end of the day, you maybe even forgot that you had the dream. Nah, this dream is a reoccurring nightmare. And it keeps coming to him. But he's a prophet. This dream is wahi. This dream is revelation. He comes to his son with this news. And he's submissive and patient. See, sacrifice doesn't come with things that you don't care about. It's not even a sacrifice if you don't care about it. You're not sacrificing. Sacrifice is with those things that you love. Giving up those things that you love. Or doing without those things that you love for a higher purpose. That's sacrifice. All of the great people, from the prophets and Anbiya to the Salihin, to the righteous, to the Awliya, they all have that in common. They sacrificed what they loved for a higher purpose. They sacrificed their sleep, so they can stand up at night alone, conversating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in prayer. They sacrificed what they love, food, so they can fast for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They sacrificed their money so they can give it to those who need it more for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They sacrificed, they gave up. This is what made them great. Sacrifice. Even people on a worldly level, they sacrifice for their education. The ones who get the most out of their education are the ones who utilize it. In other words, when some people go to university, they're playing around and partying until the last year. The ones who really get it, they're serious. People making fun of him. Oh, he's corny. He doesn't want to go to the party. Sacrifice. This is what made them great. This is why we call out their names now. Because they sacrificed. We have to be a people who get used to sacrificing. We have to give up those things that we love for a higher purpose. And if we don't give up what we love for a higher purpose, we will become the sacrifice. We will be the one that sacrificed for the higher purpose. We will be the lesson for those who come after us. Us, they will talk about us. If they don't forget about us completely, they were like, listen, there were some Muslims who lived during this time, they didn't sacrifice nothing. Don't be like them. They didn't give up anything. And Allah humiliated and embarrassed them. This is the type of people you don't want to be like. Because we have history behind us, between us and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We could call out time periods and people where we say, well, that happened to them and Allah destroyed them. We can call out their rulers by name. We can tell you what happened. We can give example after example. History is going to go on after we pass. What side of history are we going to be on? The example of people, that the Muslims that come after us say, listen, don't be like those Muslims. Them Muslims didn't sacrifice nothing. They compromised everything. Every aspect of Islam, they compromised it for some worldly purpose. They didn't give up nothing. And Allah embarrassed them and destroyed them. We don't want to be like that. We want to be on the side of history. When they write about us and speak about us, we want them to be able to say, listen, they had it rough, they had it hard, and they stood tall. And Allah rewarded them because they sacrificed. They didn't even have much, but they sacrificed. We want to be on that side of history. And may Allah make us of those who sacrifice in the tradition of our forefathers. Abdullah, Prophet Ismail, Ibrahim, and all of the righteous who came before us, all of the prophets and messengers who gave up everything for